All right, today we're going to dive into a question that sounds almost too simple, but trust me, the answer unlocks one of nature's most incredible secrets. How do plants actually eat?
I mean, really think about it. Every living thing needs food for energy, to grow, and to repair itself. We move around, we find our food, but what about plants? They're stuck in one spot. So how on earth do they manage it? They look so still, so passive, right? But underneath that calm exterior, there's a whole world of incredible biological engineering going on. So what is their secret? Well, their secret is a recipe. And it's a recipe that pretty much powers all life on this planet. The main ingredient? Pure, powerful sunlight.
You see, the vast majority of plants are what we call autotrophs. It's a great word when you break it down. Auto means self, and trophos means nourishment. So they're self-nourishers. They don't need to hunt or forage. They're basically master chefs who create their own meals completely from scratch.
And this is that ultimate solar recipe we were talking about, photosynthesis. It all starts with the roots, sucking up water and minerals. Then the leaves pull in carbon dioxide from the air and soak up sunlight, which is kind of like the heat for the oven. But none of it works without this one key ingredient, a green pigment called chlorophyll.
The plant's leaves, they're basically tiny food factories. If you could zoom way, way in, you'd see they are packed with these little cells where all the magic is happening. And see those little green dots? That's the chlorophyll, just waiting to capture that sunlight.
So how does the carbon dioxide get in? Well, all over the leaf surface are thousands of these microscopic pores called stomata. You can think of them like tiny automatic doors that open up just to let the CO2 inside. So what's the end result of all this work inside the factory? The plant uses the sun's energy to cook up water and carbon dioxide, creating carbohydrates. That's the plant's food. But here's the kicker for us. The waste product, the byproduct, is the oxygen that pretty much every animal, including you and me, needs to breathe. What a deal for the rest of us, right?
But, just when you think you have it all figured out, nature throws a curveball. What if I told you that not all plants actually follow this recipe? Some plants have found, let's just say, other ways of getting a meal.
So yeah, while most plants are those autotrophs, the self-feeders, some are what we call heterotrophs, the other feeders. Just like us, they depend on food made by other organisms. And believe me, their methods can get pretty wild. Some of these plants are, for lack of a better word, thieves. They just steal their food. Others have become active trappers, luring and even consuming prey. Let's meet a couple of these botanical rebels. Take a look at this. See all that yellow, stringy stuff wrapping around this other plant? That is a plant called cuscuta. It doesn't have any chlorophyll, so it can't make its own food. Instead, it just latches onto a host plant and literally sucks the life-giving nutrients right out of it. And that makes cuscuta a parasite. It lives on its host, takes everything it needs to survive, and gives absolutely nothing back in return. It is a completely one-sided and often really damaging relationship for the poor host plant. Okay, so plants can be thieves, but can they take it a step further? I mean, could a plant actually be a hunter? Could a plant be a carnivore? The answer is a resounding yes. Meet the absolutely incredible pitcher plant. What looks like a weird little jug is actually one of its leaves, modified by evolution into a perfect deadly trap for insects. So, how does this thing work? An insect gets lured in by some sweet nectar and lands on the rim, but the rim is super slippery. It falls inside, and these little downward-pointing hairs make it impossible to climb back out. Down at the bottom, there's a pool of digestive juices that breaks the insect down, and the plant just absorbs all those nutrients. It does this to get crucial stuff like nitrogen, which is often missing in the poor soil where it grows. I mean, without nitrogen, a plant can't build proteins or even its own DNA. It's that important. Okay, so we've seen chefs, we've seen thieves, and we've seen hunters. But the story doesn't stop there. Some of the most important relationships in the plant kingdom are all about friendship and recycling. So first up, let's meet nature's cleanup crew, the saprotrophs. These are organisms with a really unique way of getting food. They feed on dead and decaying stuff, breaking it all down. Fungi, like the mushrooms you see at the store or the mold on that old piece of bread, are absolute masters at this. They don't have chlorophyll. Instead, they just ooze out these enzymes that digest dead matter, and then they absorb the nutrients, returning them to the soil for other plants to use. They're basically the planet's essential recycler. And finally, there's symbiosis. This happens when two totally different organisms live together in a super close relationship that actually helps both of them out. It's not about stealing or trapping, it's all about teamwork. A perfect example is lichen. You might think it's just one thing, but it's actually a team-up between a fungus and an alga. The fungus gives them a safe place to live, with water and minerals on tap. And in return, the alga, which can photosynthesize, provides the food. It's a total win-win situation. So, when you put this all together, what does it all mean? Well, we have producers, consumers, and recyclers all happening in the world of plants and fungi. And it creates this complete, really beautiful system. It all just comes together in this beautiful cycle. You've got the autotrophs making food, the parasites stealing it, the carnivores trapping it, and the saprotrophs recycling everything that's died. Every single one of these strategies plays a vital role. They make sure all those essential nutrients go back into the soil, so new life can start all over again. It just goes to show you, plants are so much more than just some passive decorations. They're dynamic, they're strategic, and they are the absolute foundation of our entire world. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible secret lives are unfolding right under our noses?